Say hey everybody. What's up? What's up? Game week 36. Happy Friday. Yeah. We got let's see. We got an hour until first pitch. Well, I mean, currently we're in first pitch. We're in first pitch right now. We got about 50 minutes until game week locks. 51:34. What's up? What's up? Thanks, Jump Shoot. Just got back. Appreciate you. Lance Lynn, baby. Yeah, he had a nice time. He's doing all right. Jack, good afternoon. Let's see. Interesting week. Well, first of all, I don't know if y'all got your your cash wallets set up, but I'm really excited about that. I didn't think it was going to be broken up. I didn't think we'd have a cash wallet and an ETH wallet, and that's how it's looking. So like, I'm currently accepting ETH still for my payment and everything, but eventually, like when I spend the ETH, I'm gonna have to like make sure I switch it then to cash because I would rather be paid in cash than ETH. But apparently, with the splitting of the wallets, um, if I get cash, I don't think I can combine it with ETH, but I don't know. So yeah, I am a little confused about the market. I'm a little confused about how it works. I'm sure they wrote something about it, but I just didn't read well enough. But yeah, it's. I mean, it's good. It's not as good for us. It's good for everyone else. It's good for kind of cutting down the barrier to entry and getting people on the platform. So that's what I'm concerned with. Yes, exactly. Two separate bank accounts. Like um, just having to transfer between the two. So I'm gonna have to like actually spend that money first, and then I'll kind of figure it out. So yeah, I'm gonna have to like then switch it. So whatever. It's good. It's good for the platform, and that's good enough for me. So I'm happy about that. What's up, John? Let's see. What do we say? We look at some pitching matchups. Hell, I might just run through. I think Camilo Doval is like the only no go for me, closer wise. So I'm just gonna get this out of the way. Hopefully, my closer guys are here, so I don't have to circle back on this. But Bautista's perfectly fine. Jansen's fine. I'm worried about Holmes. Fairbanks is fine. Swanson's good. I'm rolling him out there. I'd be a little worried about Santos. Not that I want a White Sox closer. I don't know what's going on with Clase. I feel like I've said that a lot. Lang is fine. Whatever with the Royals. Duran, I'm running him out there in my priority lineup. I'm not worried about this. Presley's fine. Estevez, I'm staying away from. Munoz, I am a little hesitant on this weekend. I would, prefer Matt Brash. fine with Texas. Nothing of issue there. Robertson got a day off. I'd imagine he gets another one. I'm sure they want to get Kimbrel back out there if he still is the closer. Finnegan's fine. Alzolay's fine. No problems. Bednar's fine. Lawrence, yeah. So everyone's fine except, Duvall I'd be a little worried about because they got him up twice. So, yeah, Duvall and I forget who else. Duvall and Estevez, who are my two best closers, actually, are my two kind of no-goes this week. So there's that. What's up, Robbie? What up, what up, what up? All right, let's look at pitching matchups. Merrill Kelly and Zach Gallen aren't exactly strikeout artists, but against Minnesota, they might look a little better. I'm glad Max Fried's back, but I'm staying away from him because he's just now getting back. Never any of these Baltimore starters. Paxton against Toronto is probably okay, but I'm not running to him. Staying away from the guys versus Atlanta. Andrew Abbott against Washington is perfectly fine. Logan Allen against against the White Sox is fine. Flexen, Ty Black, and Austin Gomber don't inspire me much. And again, I've talked about this a bunch. St. Louis's offense, despite their record, is one of the best in the league. Kopech against the Guardians, I'm generally staying away from Michael Kopech still, but I mean the Guardians are the Guardians. Skubal versus Tampa is fine. I'm not targeting it. Verlander at New York is above average. Don't like any of the Kansas City guys ever. Detmers against Seattle is okay. Silseth against Seattle is probably my favorite matchup in that series. I don't really like anyone there. I don't like Luzardo or Alcantara at Texas. Corbin Burns versus Pittsburgh is probably my favorite pitcher. I think he's our top projecting pitcher. Oh, no, he's not. Everyone's boy Aaron Nola is against Kansas City, which makes sense because they suck. Bailey Ober against Arizona is perfectly fine. I don't care for Cortez or Rodon coming back from what they're coming back from, and Severino is not great. Jumpshoot asked about Woodruff. I skipped over him because I have his rare. I've been prioritizing training his rare for when he comes back, but I don't roll any starters out there until I've seen him pitch at least once. Coming back from long injuries like that, I just, you're risking, 3-4 innings. Like, maybe he goes 6. But, he's not going deep. So, yeah, I'm skipping over him this week. Also, yeah, but it's the Pirates. It's a good team to bring him back against, but, yeah, I'm a little hesitant. Nola against Kansas City, he's our top projected pitcher. If you've been paying attention, been watching this show, we've talked about Aaron Nola and how inconsistent he has been. If there's any slump buster on earth, it's Kansas City right now. They and the A's, at least Pittsburgh has some hitters in that lineup. But I have faith in Aaron Nola and his 4.43 ERA. I don't hate Oviedo at Milwaukee, but not running to get to it. Snell is fine. I don't know how the Dodgers. Let me check how the Dodgers hit against lefties. Get my split stat. Here, you can see it. Just versus lefties. Advanced. I want team stats, please. Update. All right. Dodgers against lefties. Ooh, pretty bad. Oh, no, it's not sorted. JK, they're pretty good. Okay. So yeah, Snell's a maybe. Um, I can't believe Luis Castillo has a 288 ERA because it feels like every time I roll him out there, he gets knocked around. The Angels hit righties really well. He obviously strikes out quite a few guys. Yeah, I don't like any of these guys really against the Angels, but they're also not world beaters. Mats versus Colorado is okay. I don't know. If you have Savali against Detroit, that's fine. I still think he maxes out at like 30. I don't know what his actual max has been this year, but I spent a whole week saying he's mid. So, okay. Yeah, so he hit 43 once against Kansas City. 7 innings, 9 strikeouts, 2 hits, which he doesn't do much. But these 32 against Kansas City, 8 innings, 5 strikeouts. He's an innings eater. I will give him that. He does navigate games, and I just spent a long time on Monday talking about how innings are the forgotten piece of high scoring Sorare pitching. Like, you want innings eaters and you want strikeouts. He's not going to give you a ton of strikeouts often, but I mean, he's facing Detroit, and I actually think he's a pretty nice play this week. Tyler Glass now, I believe, is a better play at Detroit. I mean, Pitchers Park, bad team, high strikeout guy, great. Miami hits lefties okay, but Jordan Montgomery is fine. Andrew Heaney is okay. I don't love any of these guys at Boston. Barrios has been fine. Bassett's pretty good. I think you can run them out there. And then staying away from those guys at Cincinnati. All right, Dosey asks, well, first of all, Carter asks, wait, players get XP in training even when they don't play. So training XP is based on the score of the team. XP in general is based on the score of the team. I don't know how exactly it's handed out, but the better the team does, the blanket XP that everybody gets. So, yes, I assume that question was in response to what I said about Brandon Woodruff, which, yes. So, actually, I will show you exactly how I do this. Just for those of you who don't already know. So, here's some of my teams. So if you look at my training lineups, I will prioritize. I'll get my best players in, and then I'll get my best players who aren't playing in the flex spot. So like Gausman's my best rare pitcher, and Bo Bichette is one of my best players, but he's on the IL. So I'm banking on Lance Lynn and his extra XP from being super rare, running up the XP of Bichette and Gausman. And over here, some of my best players or higher scarcity, and 2 guys who aren't playing, but I want to raise their XP. So, yes. Yes, what Jumpshoot just said is so very true. Common's real utility is giving XP to limited cards plus. The common tourneys are just for show. Absolutely. So, like, you'll see as I go down, like, I'm just running up, like, yeah, really good common leftovers, and then there's my Woodruff. And he's actually going to pitch, so yeah. So that team should actually perform really well because these guys are all decent. And then same thing, suspended, hurt, but I'm using those commons. I do in NBA, man. I had so many, and anytime one of my guys would get hurt, I would just toss them in a forget what I think it was my rare Lillard or my rare DeRozan or something. I think there was a game week where the Blazers didn't play, and my training lineup was rare Lillard and then like common LeBron, Giannis, because I used one of the other studs like Luca, like Brooke Lopez or whatever other guy I had left over. Like it was an all-star lineup with like Dame's hobbled ass in there just to like pour on the XP, and sure enough, I got it. So yes, it's another reason to churn the common competitions, honestly, because then you toss him in a training lineup like Rhys Hoskins, man. I'm training him hard. Oh, it's not going to let me show you my Rhys Hoskins, but like, you look at my highest card levels, you're going to see a lot of guys who haven't been playing. I don't think I have a 12 yet. Oh, I have 12s? Okay, no 13s. That's what it is. But like, yeah, like Bo somehow is, okay, yeah, he's plus 16 as a, card from last year. And you go down here to Rhys Hoskins, 16 and a half, baby. He hasn't played all year, but he be training. If you can get Rhys Hoskins on this deal, if you can get him for $18 or less, he hits bombs. I would jump on this if these still exist. Do they? What's a Rhys Hoskins going for these days? Listed a lot higher, but yeah, it looks like the last person who bought one was aced at 0.01. But like this price, he's kind of ramping. I think they think he might be back, but I can't believe he's 30 now. Yeah, I wouldn't pay this for him, but like Ace got it for cheap. Ace got a couple apparently. So yeah, what was I doing? Got a little distracted. Oh, I was just talking about XP. So yeah, guys like Hoskins. Somehow Woodruff is not. I thought for sure Woodruff would be up here. Woodruff. Yes, no? I might scroll past him, I don't know. Doesn't matter. Well, it does matter. It matters to me. I gotta find out, because I've been trained. Oh, I haven't been training the limited. That's why. I was looking for the limited, but... Okay, here's the rare. Yeah, he's plus 60. He's level 12. Despite not having pitched pretty much all year. So, that is a long-winded answer to say yes. They still get XP. All right, Dozy. Yoshida, William Contreras, or Brandon Lau, excuse me. According to projections, Yoshida is our number 52 player. William Contreras is number 74. And Brandon Lau is 123. It looks by the projections that Tampa will face a lefty on Saturday. Yeah, that's Skubal. So Lau will probably sit at least one of those, and if he does play, like, he's so bad again. Oh, he's got two lefties actually. It's looking like Wentz might go on Sunday. So actually, yeah, I think that puts Lau on ice. Yeah, I mean, Yoshida's getting Manoah, Barrios, who, isn't a world beater, and Bassett. So I would probably go with Yoshida. I don't know that William Contreras DH is on his days off either. So you're looking at just like getting Yoshida on 3 games versus a couple of guys who don't. Let's check. Okay, he does. Let's see. Priest, Ortiz, and Oviedo. Yeah, I mean, Contreras is definitely facing the better matchups, or like the matchups are more favorable for him. He's a little cold lately. His numbers are kind of meh. Ooh, Yoshida's real cold. Yeah, I don't know, Dozy. This feels a lot like a play who you want kind of guy. I don't know. I think Yoshida's probably the better hitter, but Contreras might benefit from seeing better matchups. So, yeah, that's tough. I would probably just go Yoshida. If Contreras was hitting a bunch of homers, then maybe, but Yoshida's actually got more. He has been cold though. That last 50, that's pretty gnarly. Who's hot and who's not? Let's look at that. And if y'all got any questions, please ask. But let's take a look at some of the hot hitters, and those are not. Short term, these are going to be guys you know are hot because they've had solid game weeks. So Nolan Gorman, Ryan Mountcastle, Ballin. Let's. I'd rather look at these though. 100, I like to see. Gorman is up pretty solidly. Lau is up pretty solidly. Jake Berger's been mashing for me. Freddie Freeman is just on an absolute tear. James Outman, huh? Giancarlo Stanton has been hitting the ball real well. Muncy, I love seeing him on the way up. Let's go to the bottom. Nick Castellanos is reeling. Luis Robert. Oh, Matt Vierling. Hate to see that. Spencer Steer. No, my boy. Oh, Ketel Marte, Dalton Varsho. These are all guys that I don't want to see at the bottom of this list. These are all guys that I have. And this is like the bottom. Struggle bus. I don't like that. Shohei Ohtani with a 519 xWOA over his last 250 plate appearances is bananas. Glad to see this little run on shortstops right here. Seager, Witt, and Lindor. The cream rising to the top. I really want a Bobby Witt card. Dying for one of those. Tom Murphy. I don't even know if he plays every day. He's their backup catcher, right? If not, like I might need to run him out there because he's hot. Yeah, he's so spotty. Cal Raleigh, that's right. Get Tom Murphy in there. All right. Anything else? I have an idea of something to do if y'all don't have questions. Larry, you still in the chat? My guy, the Flame. Let me know if you're still out there. This is another thing that I've kind of been wanting to do a separate video for. I just have not been able to do the amount of editing that it takes. But I got to see if Flame's out there. Would anyone like me to either build some lineups for them or take a look at their gallery and kind of say what I would do next? Because I'm kind of wanting to do a gallery review. Hell, I could do a gallery review for myself, but I am focused on soccer currently in terms of my reallocation of funds. I have way more soccer cards than I thought. Way more soccer cards than I thought. All right, jump shoot. Let's do it. All right. So my first question, jump shoot. is do you have any amount of ETH that you want to spend? Do you have any um, are you trying to reallocate anything? We got some time. I might run through a couple of galleries here. Hugo, if you want me to do yours as well, just drop your name in the chat. Cap, I know where you're at. But also let me know what kind of funds you have, if you're trying to raise funds. And also who you definitely are interested in selling and who you are not. You have $10 in ETH. All right. Okay. Yeah, I'll run through a couple. Also, if any of y'all out there want to let me know your goals, let me know. Like Carter said, I'm trying to transition to rare. Okay, Jumpshoot says I have a ton of limited. Maybe get some more rares to compete. All right, so let's look for some sell cases. Yeah, I don't blame you. I wouldn't want to go heavy either. Seeing where you bought is definitely good. So you're not going to profit on some of these. I don't know much about. Oh, never mind. His price is down. Woodruff. Yeah, that's the thing with reallocating is um, it's tough to sell for profit at this point. Like Javier is not a sell high, and you're not getting enough there that you actually want to do anything. I think you could sell this Clark Schmidt and just take that. I know it's not a lot, but unless you're interested, here's another thing: is we are going to have collections coming out soon. So make sure that you're not going to just tank one of your you're not going to tank one of your collections trying to raise money. Okay, so moving on. Yeah, so it's going to be tough. A lot of these look like they're going to be really tough to sell for a profit. You do have a lot of good pitching. So I'm going to look at your limiteds really quick. I think you could stand apart with some of these. Like Sevi, I would move off of. If you can recoup that at the 2 weeks average, I would move off of him. I would keep both of these guys. I think you could realistically move Cease if you wanted to and not be that hurt because you have. I mean, Eduardo's fine. Michaelis is never going to do much with the state of your reliever or your starters. I would just move on from him. If you get that floor price for Balazovic, I would say go for it. Luke Weaver's another one who's kind of dead in the water. I would just move on from him. Plesac might be my least favorite player of all time. That's pretty sick. The Verlander jersey. I don't know much about some of these guys. You could sell high on Bradish. I don't think you need him. I don't think you need to play the matchup game so much that you need all these pitchers when you got the guys I've named, Wheeler, Castillo, Musgrove. Like, you can sell from a position of depth here. Like, Bradish, I would move. That's a nice spot for Varland. Grayson's a long-term hold. Kremer's another one. I think you can sell and take the profit. Sandoval, I would sell and take the profit. Kluber, just move off of him. Now that he's with Texas, I could see it, but moving on from Scherzer, I think makes a lot of sense. He's 38. Like, I don't think you need him, but I wouldn't fault you for holding him. Gilbert's a hold. That Lugo's nice. Yeah, you have so much good pitching that you should definitely sell some of them. Oh man, you have the 1 mint on Bieber. That's sick. That'll help for your 2022 Guardians collection. You have 2 Woodruffs, 3 Woodruffs. Obviously, don't sell him now, but you could sell one of those later if he starts to tick up. Yeah, Detmers. Yeah, you got a lot of. Are these repeating, or you just have doubles? A lot of these guys, because like, if you have doubles of guys like Luis Castillo and all that, Kremer again, you can sell. I would just start to move off some of these guys. I'd hold Lodolo. Let me tell you who I'd actually hold, because I think you can get away with like 10 good pitchers. Lodolo, Snell, Castillo, I'd hold all these guys. Woodruff, Rasmussen, Woodruff, Detmers, 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 Detmers. I think you can sell at least one of those Detmers. I don't think you're going to use them unilaterally. Hold Bieber, McClanahan, Gallen, Gilbert, Ray, Lugo. You could trade Scherzer. I'd hold Luis Garcia. I'd hold Varland, Eflin, Rodriguez, Castillo, Musgrove. I'd hold one of the Verlanders. You're not recouping that price. I'd hold him. Wheeler. I would hold Javier, although he's a reward, so that's free money. Another Woodruff. Yeah, man. Eduardo. These two. Sell the rest. If you want to get into rare, I would do that. All right. Okay. So yeah, maybe don't sell the Baltimore guys. You really don't need a lot of relievers, I have found. You could scrape together like anyone who's not a closer or doesn't have the potential to be a closer someday. You definitely do have that Orioles collection. Damn. Yeah, like you can try and scrape together something on some of these relievers. It might take a while, but same thing. Like hold on to the elite guys because you got plenty. You don't need a lot of depth there. These other positions, you probably need some depth. So let's see. Any chance for profit? You could profit on Giancarlo Stanton right now. Double RP for your training lineups. That makes sense. I mean, if they get in, like, go ahead and use them. Um, Selling high on Giancarlo Stanton might make sense. This one you can sell, and yeah, and you can even hold this other one. You seem to like to have doubles. You could sell high on Mookie if you wanted to, but I wouldn't. Not until you're ready to prioritize rare. Man, yeah. I would consider moving Buxton. He's hurt. He's in and out of the lineup. He rests so much. Oh, and he's DH only. I'll consider that. I like Duran. Yeah, man, you got a lot of depth. I would move on Kutch, even though I know his price is low. At that point, you might as well just keep him. You could sell real high on Esteury Ruiz. I think you could make a lot of money there. Always buy 2. Gotcha. I mean, it's something I would eventually start doing here. Well, I don't think Buxton has played the outfield. I think that's why they took it from him. I think he's been DH all year. You could sell high on Belly, which I don't think is a bad idea. Yeah, I'm going to move on here shortly, but I would definitely try and trim the fat. Hold on to your Orioles. Hold on to any rookies you like. Yeah, I know he had outfield from last year, but I don't know that he's actually played a game in the outfield this year. I know he did. It doesn't. I mean, it doesn't matter. I don't think it's an error. I guess is all I'm saying. Hold on, I'm just confirming because now I just want to know. Standard fielding. Yeah, he has not played the outfield this year. But yeah, trim the fat. Hold on to your Orioles. Hold on to the nice the Chavis. Some of your top level guys: Ramirez, Casas, Vaughn, Crone, another Mountcastle, Gunner, Wilmer. You could even hold on, but like anytime the floor price is above what you bought it for, like Candelario, with the other guys that you have, I don't know that you need that much depth. But definitely sell some of these lower level guys and just start accumulating cents because your training lineups aren't helping you that much at a certain point. Like once you build a training lineup with guys that you don't care about actually accumulating XP, I would just look at who is available and just start trimming. And even if you take losses, like that's how you're going to move up to rare to start. All right, so let me look at your rares really quick. You got plenty in the limited level. You definitely move off that Soriano. You got the Gilbert, so that's a nice start. You definitely need another. I would look for like one more Lance Lynn type. Pagan's fine. Brooks Raley's fine at this point. Michael King is fine. Cano is great. You could sell Cano for a nice little bargain, but I wouldn't do it. But I mean, Swanson, Duran, Hicks, these are all nice relievers, and you don't need that many. So again, like, yeah, man, you have a lot of rares too that you just don't need that many. Gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense. His outfield is competitive. These guys are all fine. Oh, rewards too. That's how you build your gallery right there. Solid. You got some long view cards. That's great. All right, you need a little bit corner infield. It looks like a lot of your guys got cut or are hurt. So definitely focus there. There's a lot of value at corner infield. Marte is great. Not a lot else. Mateo, here you go. Frazier's been fine. For your collection, if you want an Adam Frazier in your Orioles collection for this year, you're gonna need that. You're gonna need him in that jersey. Ooh, all right. Cano's number one. Yeah, hold that one then. I can't. If you could get some of these floors, I'd take them. But yeah, McMahon's not a bad one to think about. But yeah, you definitely have some fat to trim. I would start to try to consolidate some of this ETH and then use some of the values in my spreadsheet. Guys that I've talked about on previous pods, you can definitely trim and make your rare lineup a lot more competitive because you got a lot of cards. I mean, you could just sell rewards and you'd still be in a decent spot to pick up one or two guys. Like an NL guy, like, well, I was going to say Jordan Montgomery, but not anymore. Let me just pull an NL starter out that, I mean, Charlie Morton could get you across the line, but sorry, we've got something in the Discord, and then I'll. My prices are a little off. Um, I don't think Freddie Peralta is too terribly expensive. It's Lance Lynn. Lance Lynn in Los Angeles, I think, is a real good, cheap buy. Trying to figure something out in the Discord. I apologize for a second. One second. Not trying to ghost y'all. Okay. Sorry. Jesse asks, what do you think the ideal depth is for each position? It depends on what level you're at. Three guys at each spot in each league, I think, is where you want to be. Exactly what you said. Three guys at each spot in each league is where you want to be if you want to just play AL, NL contests. But yeah, then you could just use your leftovers elsewhere. Like at a starting level, I think that's great. Obviously, you're going to want more depth as your gallery gets bigger. But yeah, selling down to around there is fine. I would try to go about. I don't even know. Once you get to that point, I think it's more about finding values and stacks, like one-offs, to plug in. Once you have the three, like once you have a solid foundation, you find your best player and then try to find complementary pieces at other positions. So like if I were jump shoot, like I have this Ketel Marte, and he's probably my best rare. Just quickly glancing back at it, then once I get past that three at each position, I'm going to try and add a Christian Walker or a Corbin Carroll would be fantastic, but I know that's not necessarily very doable. But like people at other positions that you can stack with them and build similar lineups. Um, so yeah, once you have three at each position in each league, I think that's when you start building stacks for sure. Clay asks, which is the better chip, sour cream and cheddar or sea salt and vinegar? I'm gonna go with salt and vinegar. Definitely. I like a good sour cream and cheddar chip, but some of them just aren't great. It depends on which maker, but yeah, I'm gonna go salt and vinegar. If I'm gonna eat chips, I want it to be an experience. I don't like to eat chips just to eat chips. And salt and vinegar is like a lot of things that I like, where it's a struggle. I like to struggle. I like not necessarily pain, but like, I don't know. I can't think of any chips that are so good that I'm like, I gotta have these chips. But if I'm getting chips, jalapeno chips are good. But yeah, if I'm getting chips, if I'm at like Jimmy John's or something, and I have to get a chip to save money and still get my Dr Pepper, I'm gonna get salt and vinegar because it's like a kick in the pants. Yes, a crisp. Oh, Robbie, barbecue. There's just so few well done barbecue. Yeah, jalapeno kettle chips. Mwah. Kettle sea salt and vinegar, perfect. Kettle chips are great. Sorry, I goofed up the My Gallery sheet because we added the positional stuff in the app. So the My Gallery sheet is screwed up, and I'm just trying to help Ace and someone else fix that. Habanero jelly. That sounds really good. I'm pepper everything. Sorry. Okay. I'm done. I'm done with that. Any other questions before we get out of here? Sorry, I fell down a rabbit hole. I know I did the gallery review with Jumpshoot. I know some of you Some of the other ones want that sort of thing. I can do more of those. Uh, oh yeah. Sorry, Jow. I'll do another lead off soon. It's just a time thing. Unfortunately, those didn't um, drive as much, uh, drive as many subscriptions as I wanted, but they took a lot of time, and I enjoyed doing them, and they were good and fun. But I will get back to them eventually. Okay, Robbie. Let me go back and find it. Larry asked how I was feeling about Verlander this week. I went over that at the top. I like him. It's fine. Um, I wish he wasn't at New York, but I think that's a fine matchup for him. Okay. Robbie asked, discussing the issue with rare pro prizes this week and the tiers as a whole might be easier to hear another point of view. Um, all right, let's look at it. Robbie, feel free to let me know what else y'all were talking about, because sometimes with the prize structure conversations, as you know, I get a little bogged down. So we're talking rare pro. There's got to be another way to look at that. Let me let this week advance, and then I'll do it. Good luck, everybody. All right. We're locked. We're live. Let's talk about rare pro prizes. This is a really cumbersome way to do it. I wish there was a different way. Okay. So, what specifically was wrong with the top 6? Oh, you're talking about the rewards that are given out. I didn't know if it was about the structure. I feel like Rare Pro I don't have a huge issue with. But, okay. Rare Pro. Ah, got it. I understand. Now that I see this, I totally understand the question. All right. What is wrong with the Rare Pro structure? Looking at this week. Yeah, Christian Encarnacion Strand is not a tier 2 player. Rookies, like this one kind of defies a lot of things that I even believed were true. I would have said, like, yeah, rookies are going to be pushed up. So this was probably based on his first couple of sales. Or his first sale. Yeah, 0.16 is pretty commensurate with a high level tier 2. Maybe not even that. I was going to say a high level tier 2 would be pushing that, but I don't think that's true, because then you look right behind him with Camilo Duvall, and I would say, like, you could reverse these and be happy, but getting a reliever for winning Rare Pro would be awful. I don't know why Encarnacion Strand is up here. Rookies should not coast to the top of tiers because of the hype. And you see that in tier one. There's a lot of guys up there like Andrew Abbott. That's one where it's like it's not like Ellie De La Cruz coming up where everyone's like, holy cow, this guy's going to be great. It's Andrew Abbott. He was like meh, and then he came up and he was good for a little bit. And because he's a rookie and because his cards are new, especially relative to the rest of the market, like you have a guy whose number one is on the market, and that's going to inflate his value because everyone else is on like mint, 10, whatever, and their prices have come down. And Encarnacion Strand, I could argue, will be a player that is worth winning at the top of Rare Pro, but he's not now. And I don't know. I don't know how to feel about guys like that. When I win, I want guys with utility. Like, if it's Encarnacion Strand or let's see, like who would be someone that I wouldn't want up there? It would be an older guy like Paul Goldschmidt, who I think is a tier one. He might be a tier two. Like I think I'd still rather even have Goldschmidt because like Encarnacion Strand is as a rookie, he's not gonna perform anywhere near what Goldschmidt is going to. So I don't want to win a reward where I have to wait for years until they're that good. And he could take 2 to 3. Like baseball, it's such a slow burn that that's rough. That's real rough. Um, yeah, I would just look to sell. Now there is another side to this where I would rather win a player whose price is super high because of hype than like so like my big super rare pro win was Kyle Schwarber for second, which especially at the time was a good prize for where I won him. If I won him there now, I'd be a little disappointed because he's just not been himself. But that's fine. That doesn't matter. But Schwarber was a guy who I always say, like, this guy's too cheap on the market. Go get him. And I don't want to win those guys. I want to win guys like Ohtani, who I'm like, yeah, it's great to have him, but for what you could sell him at, you're going to really be happy you did and be able to piece together a nice little team out of that. Those are the guys I want to win. So, like, if I won a Christian Encarnacion Strand and his value was like 0.35 and I was like, that he's not worth it right now, then I could sell him and it would be like an ETH reward, and I'm happy with that. But when you get a guy like that, where, I mean, you look at the valuation here and he's almost half of what Camilo Duvall is worth, then, like, you kind of got screwed. Like, to have that happen to where you can't sell him for requisite value and you can't play him, or you're not getting as much out of playing him because he's not that great currently, that's a kick in the pants. That's bad. I'm glad you brought this up, Robbie, because that's one of the more egregious. Like, in MLB, you can't do this with rookies. In NBA, yeah, fine. There are going to be rookies who are almost as good as his peers. Like Paolo Banchero last year was as good a card as his peers. In baseball, it's going to take him forever. Like, Ellie came up and he smacked the tar out of the ball, and now he's bad. Like, he was bad for like 100 plate appearances and is just now getting back to average because that's how it works in baseball. So to get a guy like that up top, like, I'd rather have Doval even having one, and I would still be upset with winning a reliever, but that's just a positional issue. I mean, as I go down even further, like, winning Zach Neto over Giancarlo Stanton and Brian Reynolds is wild to me. I don't even know that I'd rather have Zach Neto than Orlando Arcia. And then Soderstrom is a catcher, which You might as well not even give those out. Yeah, I would. If you put Reynolds 1, even by valuation, it's closer. And like as a player, yeah, I think Reynolds could be 1 here, and you could drop Strand to 3. I think I might rather have Encarnacion Strand than Giancarlo Stanton. But like Stanton, I can count on doing well for me now. Encarnacion Strand, like he might get sent back to the minors. I don't know how he's even doing. I don't want to spend too much time on the one guy, but like that is what you're risking. And as a company, if you're risking giving someone, yeah, he's got a 710 OPS right now. He's got 1 homer, 15 hits, and 53 at bats, 57 plate appearances. Like pretty pedestrian numbers. And that could turn around, that's fine. But as a company, risking somebody who had just the best experience on the platform and winning a guy like Christian Encarnacion Strand, who then gets sent down to the minors, that would. I could see someone wanting to leave the platform because of that. Now, will he get sent down? I don't know. He was tearing up AAA. Like I don't know. Again, I'm hyper focusing on this one guy, but like, there's just got to be more oversight than that. The other thing too is like, once you get down here, Arenado has a sale price similar to Tyler Soderstrom. The difference is there's more of a market for this rare, whereas like Soderstrom, I don't know who's buying a rookie catcher from the A's. So again, it's tough because I know that it's not Sorare's job to just give everyone the best cards, and they have to unload some of their bad product somewhere, like the one I won, the Taylor Motter I won. But like, even as someone in super rare, I would rather have an Arenado rare, a Bregman rare, a Steer rare, a Yelich rare, a Christian Walker rare, a Blake Snell rare, maybe Eloy, Arise, Grayson. I would rather have all of those guys than a Tyler Soderstrom super rare because you can't sell it. No one's buying. And like you can hold on to it for a long period of time, but like again, he's a catcher. Unless he goes to full first base, you can't sell him. You don't get any worth out of him. That is when it gets really disappointing. So yeah, there's a lot of issues. Like either just have it. Oh, okay. I just wanted rare pro, rare pro. Okay, rare pro only. Can we do that? Rare pro. No? I just want rare pro. Why are you doing this to me? Yeah, but if you sort by valuation, I mean, even this is a better, if you just take out the super rare pro guys, like even this is a better prize structure. I would rather have an Arcia super rare than an Arenado, but I could sell Arenado and buy an Orlando Arcia. So like, I don't even know that you need to promise a specific tier. I mean, like you probably have to for some reason. I assume. But yeah. All right. So yeah, Robbie mentions the tiers being too big, which is something that I've harped on for some time. Because essentially there are a million tiers within. I went to the wrong thing. Within that tier alone. So like there's some people in here who are elite and there are people here who are borderline. And this actually looks smaller. Jordan Walker is not a tier 1 player. Although I think I keep saying that and I keep completely discounting how good he's actually been and how good he is as a prospect and the fact that he's 21. Actually, no, he's a below average hitter currently. So again, if I want him as a tier 1, I would be livid. I don't care if he turns into Babe Ruth. How long do I have to wait for that? $60 future value is great. Game power 80 eventually. 80 grade game power is nuts. That'd be fantastic. But like if I want him now, like he shouldn't be in here. There are multiple tiers here. I would say tier 0 players. I'm going to do this again. Yes, there needs to be a star tier. Judge, Carroll, Tatis, Acuna, definitely those guys. Probably Strider and Cole. Definitely Strider. And then I think you could reasonably include Wander, Jordan, Vlad. Oh, sorry, Mookie is definitely a tier 0. He is definitely a star. Freddie and Seager are probably in that range. All right, below that, tier 1 within tier 1, like definite tier 1s. Riley, Witt, Ellie deserves to be here, I think. Then you get the Cole situation again. Gunner based on prospect pedigree, but I wouldn't put him in there. Ramirez, Soto is probably a tier 0, actually, even though he's been underperforming. Julio is definitely a tier 1. Tucker is probably on the lower end. I'm not ready to put Robert in there yet. Ozzy maybe because of positionally. Alonso hits enough homers to justify it. Yeah, okay. Tier 2. Like lower end tier 1 guys. Guys that would be okay being in tier 1 and you won them in a contest like the AL NLs where there are 3 tier 1s. But also that means they're going to be given out even fewer. Adolis. I think Lindor deserves to be in there. This is where I would put Gunner probably. I would put Robert in there. I would put Machado and Semien in there. Olsen's more towards the middle. But positionally, I think he goes down a little bit. I'd rather have Olsen than Alonso, though. Albies is definitely in there. Randy's in there. Turner shouldn't be tier 1 anymore. I'm conceding that finally. Zach Gallen as a starter, I don't think deserves to be in that conversation. So, like, even as this is structured, I think Gallen is a tier 2. Turner, I think, is a tier 2. Walker is definitely a tier 2. So not that many changes. I don't know where I put Witt, but he's definitely a tier 1. So I would move Walker and Turner and Gallen out already. And I would move, again, Judge, Carroll, Tatis, Soto, Betts, Acuna, Strider. Up. I don't even know that I'd put Strider in as a high, but you need one, so whatever. Franco, because of his age, is probably in there. But I don't know. I don't know what's better, a low tier 0 or a high tier 1. How many would be in star tier? At the very least, 2, 3. Betts is only in there because of his position. 4, 5, 6, 7. Those are end game players. Oh, and Ohtani. I don't see Ohtani in here. Apparently you can't win an Ohtani. You can't win an Ohtani in Rare American League. Can you win him an All-Star? If he's not even in the tier 1 pool, that's malpractice. He's straight up not in the reward pool. You cannot win an Otani. Because you can't win a tier 1 in these. Right, what you said, Robbie. 3 tiers of players within tier 1 is just a start because it starts to recategorize everything else. All right. Is Otani not in there because he's hurt? I don't think he's hurt. Bellinger should. Yeah, so this is the limited pool. This is completely different. Bellinger is not a tier 1. Bautista is a relief pitcher. There should not be relief pitchers in tier 1. Jazz, sure. Yoshida, no. And then some of the same guys. Still no Otani. Super rare tier 1. There's Cody again. Should not be there. I think that's just changed. I think it might have been updated. Yeah, you can't win Otani. Like, what's the point? I know y'all got to make money, but like, at least lie to me and say he's in the pool, because you're not fooling anybody by not giving them away. Like we know, we've noticed. You can at least lie to me, and maybe if you had a star tier, it wouldn't matter. All right, but yeah, once it starts to push things down, like you can really start to push some other people down. If I want Alex Verdugo as a tier 2, I'm glad Abbott's down here. Like, that's not a high tier 2, especially. All right, here's everyone I would rather have than Christian Encarnacion Strand, who someone won for winning Rare Pro. All right, I would rather have Rutschman. I would probably rather have Nola, but not worried about that. I'd rather have Reynolds. I'd rather have Duvall. I'd rather have Yelich, Burns. I don't know why Bellinger is a tier 2 only in rare. I would rather have Bautista. I'd rather have Jazz. I'd rather have Hader. I'd rather have Gossman. I'd probably rather have Schwarber. I'd rather have McLean. I'd rather have. I take back McLean. I'd rather have Arenado because of price. That's the other thing, is I'm not seeing prices here, so that would change things. So yeah, there's not a ton, I guess, but like I'd probably rather have Walker. I just want established guys. That's all. But yeah, then you start pushing things down, and that's it. But okay, my voice is running out. Robbie, was there anything else? I think we hit on it. I don't know if I gave enough clarification, but yeah, Murphy's an okay. Where did you win him? Like, what? Jumpshoot says he got a Sean Murphy limited tier 2 reward. Felt kind of not great. So he's been hitting enough, or at least he was early in the season, to where he justifies playing him. Yeah, no, he's taking every other day off right now. Yeah, okay. So here's another thing. One more thing before I get out as far as tiers. Until there is a straight up positional game where you need catchers need to be moved down a tier per. Like the same way relievers just kind of exist at the bottom of the tier 5 pool. Backup catchers should all be tier 5, which I think they are. Catchers should be moved down probably A tier. Unless they DH. Like they need to be monitored or else they're just bad rewards. On the same token, elite level middle infielders should probably be moved up. So like, I mean, they're already up there. We already talked about him, but like Mookie's a star tier because he's a middle infielder. Probably alone he is anyway, but definitely because that's the thing that pushes him way up there. Witt being an elite guy, Albies being an elite guy, Lindor even, Semien, he's up there where he should be. Turner still projects really well, even though I was moving him down. So maybe he deserves to be a tier one based on that, but he's been so bad. 8 hitters shouldn't be in tier one. How about that? But like a guy like Max Muncy, I think you could move up. You'd have to move him down because of age, but like, all right, Sean Murphy, 51st place in limited All Star makes sense to me. I think that's a sensible spot. But like, okay, so yeah, position should factor in, valuation should factor in, age should factor in. Like it should definitely move people down if they're older at a certain point. Like I don't know, 36. Maybe we start moving guys down. 35 isn't great, but we're getting towards how old I am, and that's going to make me feel like dying. Um, so yeah, like Juan Soto may not be producing, but he's still 23 or whatever. So like, yeah, he should be up higher. Whereas a guy like Goldschmidt he projects to produce, but he's starting not to, probably because of his age. So we should start pushing people down based on that. But yeah, age variable, variable, positional variable. Medium corner infielder should be pushed down a little bit. Um, age, position, value. That's probably it. But like there needs to be a counterbalance where value doesn't drive everything because then you get people who are hot getting pushed up into new tiers, and what people are paying for cards shouldn't necessarily drive all of that. Like I said, I like winning guys who are overvalued because then I can sell them and buy maybe 2 guys who are undervalued. That's the name of the game in this, and I don't think taking it away via reward, that doesn't help me a ton if I'm not winning constant rewards anyway. But I like to be able to do it. So I understand there's a balance between that. But like if I won a contest and I won a card that I couldn't sell and didn't want to play, then I would be upset. That's all. And a guy that I have to wait a ton on. If it's a guy like Ellie who was producing and is super young, then great. That's fine. I'd take him and not be upset about it, even though I could have won, a guy who's older like Jose Ramirez and is producing currently. There's just a balance that needs to be struck. That's all. I'm married, jump shoot. I'm married to a doctor. Life is good. She's the best. Okay. That'll do it. That'll do it. I think I said everything I needed to say. I assume this was about an hour into the conversation. I gotta play 6 more innings online in MLB The Show so I can get my Satchel Paige card. So I'm gonna do that. Good luck to everybody. Thanks for tuning in, especially everyone who hung on. If you want me to do a gallery review, find me on Twitter or something. Get a hold of me and I'll do it. I owe the Flame one, but I know Larry's in here. I was asking for you, buddy, and I didn't hear from you, so I reviewed someone else's gallery, but that was his idea anyway, and I'll try and do his on a different video. As far as the leadoffs, eventually. But yeah, that's going to do it for me. Thanks, gang. I will talk to you on Monday. Good luck. Have fun. Be safe. Have a great weekend. Thanks for tuning in. See you.